All right, my Pisces friends, how are you today? Aaron here bringing you your monthly horoscope for June of 2020. We have a beautiful month ahead of us. One of my favorite aspects that's happening, it happens once every 2 years. It's going to happen in your sign, in your first house, okay, which is going to be Mars conjunct Neptune. That's going to happen on the 13th of this month. So exciting as this is like, there's parts of your personality that are going to really come to shine. All right, we'll talk about it all. Let's break it down. First, I want to say, thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for joining me on these monthly videos. As a disclaimer, as I put out in every video this month for these monthlies, it is really important as an astrologer for me to give you accurate information, to give you information that's going to be uplifting, empowering, to communicate on the things that could be hard or difficult to watch out for, but ultimately to empower and inspire you. It's just like sometimes when we know the hard things that are coming, this is when we rise up. All right. Now, because I'm doing this as a general overall for Pisces and every other sign here, I have the chart at a 0 degrees of Pisces. Now, if you're a 20-degree Pisces, that shifts everything over, So as I've been telling the other signs, if you know your chart, if you know your rising sign, you know your chart, it might be the next sign over, So if you're a 28-degree Pisces rising, certain aspects I'm going to be talking about here with this Pisces video are going to resonate with you. But there's going to probably be a lot in the Aries video. And you're probably thinking, I'm not an Aries. And you're absolutely right. But it's how the houses line up when we look at it like this. And I don't ever hear anybody talking about that kind of thing, and it's just like, it's important. It's really, really important as to how we're doing our job and giving useful information to help people out in life. Okay. So as my disclaimer, now, if you want to have a private reading from me, my email address is, in the description box below. So by all means, reach out. I can give you a very, very accurate reading, exactly what's going on now and to the years to come in the future. All right. So let's get into the horoscope. Let's see what's going on here in June, right? So on the 3rd, we have Sun-Venus conjunction happening here in the 4th house. Are you moving? Are you moving? Comment. Are you moving? What's going on here at the home and family with you? You're rethinking something. You're feeling very differently about a situation here concerning home and family. Now, this being in the middle of the degrees, is probably pretty accurately, yes, your 4th house. So Venus retrograde, these are always difficult times. We're questioning our partners, questioning our relationships, questioning why we love what we love, who we love, what we love, all this stuff. On the 3rd, we have the sun and the moon coming together, the sun and Venus coming together, while the moon is going to be over here in Scorpio, creating a very difficult aspect on the 3rd. Okay, so at the same time, we have this very beautiful aspect that happens once every year and a half. Every 13 Venus years is 8 Earth years, and they line up 5 times. It's Fibonacci numbers. Okay, this is sacred geometry, and they form a pentagram around the sun. You can look that up, the pentagram of Venus, or the 5-point star of Venus. Okay, so this is a very powerful connection happening here in your 4th house. And again, this is about home and family front for you. Okay, so what's going on? Drop me a line if you want to, comment below. On the 5th, we have a really powerful, it's so powerful for you too, because this is about your career. A powerful lunar eclipse. Now, the south node is here at 29 degrees. The north node's here at 29 degrees. Okay. And the sun's going to be at 15 degrees of Gemini. The moon will be at 15 degrees of Sagittarius. Okay, so that's 14 degrees off of the node. What that means is this is a very far off lunar eclipse. This is not total or exact by any means at all. Okay. However, we're still having a full moon. This is still absolutely an eclipse. Okay. We will absolutely see the sun here, the moon fully illuminated, and Earth in the middle, casting a shadow on, we're going to say, a corner of the moon. Okay. Can you have a corner in something round? We'll go with it. So we're going to be casting a shadow on the corner of the moon here because we're 14 degrees off of the node, but it's still an eclipse. Okay. An eclipse in your 10th house of career, public image, and how people view you. This is about upping your game. This is balancing your work and home life, balancing this Wall Street concept with the Main Street concept. Now, Mars has a very important role to play in this. I'm going to talk about it more, in this whole proper eclipse video that I put out. But Mars is going to be squaring, this eclipse here. So it's really, really interesting. Again, we'll talk about that a little bit more during the eclipse video, but it's something to be mindful of. But either way, for you, this definitely is about balance between home life and career and big business, and how you're viewed to the world, how you're viewed to your family. And it's completely possible that these are completely different things. You know what I mean? Like how somebody like myself or somebody would view a movie star, or a celebrity, or a sports person versus how their family views them. Obviously very, very different. And that's completely allowed to be that way and one and the same. Okay, moving on. So that's on the 5th. On the 13th, we have Mars, Neptune, and the Moon conjunction. Again, that's going to be happening in your first house. So the Moon's going to make its way over here to about 21 degrees, and Mars and Neptune here at 20 degrees. Okay, so Mars is what? Mars is our planet of action. It's one foot in front of the other. I'm thirsty. Okay, well, my desired action is going to be get up and get a glass of water. Easy. Moving toward that which I desire. Very simple when you look at it like that. Okay. Now our moon is about our emotional needs. What do I emotionally need? This isn't about thirst. This isn't about my physical body. This is something that's under the surface. This is emotions. What is emotionally, what do I need? And furthermore, Pisces, or Neptune rather, is about your dreams and your imagination. Okay, so this being your first house, this is about your personality. So it's saying something that you've been striving for, something that you've been focused on for quite some time, is coming into fruition within your life. Could be within your personality, could be with a concept of yourself, how you're starting to see yourself. Maybe there's been hard, difficult, trying times where we see, we can look at life as a burden, or humanity as a plague on this earth, or we can look at ourselves as not worthy of things. And maybe this is that like flip of the switch and the spark saying like, oh my God, what am I doing? Why am I thinking this way, or being this way, or acting this way, when I'm so fortunate, so loved, so loving, that I have so much to offer and to give back to this world. So either way, this, however it plays out, there's something about in your personality, something in how you come across to other people, that comes into this huge like, that's it. It's this great aha kind of a moment, and you really aligning with your dreams, something that you've been holding on to for some time. That's the 13th. So this eclipse off the gate, this Venus-Sun conjunction off the gate, these are tools that we need to use to get us to the 13th, okay? To align with our dreams. We need to absolutely be focused on what our dreams are. We need to be communicating that, and expressing that, and giving ourselves this positive affirmation, so that way when that happens, we're right there. Our hand is open, the glove is on, ready to receive, to catch that ball, that fly ball. All right, so that's the 13th, super powerful. On the 18th, now Mercury here in your 5th house will begin to retrograde. Now, as we're talking about personality over here on one side, and this is about self and your instincts, over here, this is about your ego self-expression, your playfulness, how you're communicating with the world. All right, Mercury here in Cancer, this is saying I'm not communicating much at all. I'm keeping things close to my chest, which is not where we always want our cards to be. Okay, especially when we have this such a powerful connection over here. So on the 18th, Mercury is going to begin its retrograde cycle. And for a whole week, and again, this is your 5th house, creative self-expression. So this is rethinking, reevaluating, and how you're coming across to other people. Am I coming across as sad or weak? Am I coming across as strong-headed and stubborn? Am I coming across as easy going? Am I coming across as innovative? Am I coming across as spiritual? We don't want other people to dictate and change our personalities, but this is how we're viewing ourselves during this time. It's like taking a long look in the mirror over those 3 weeks that Mercury is going to retrograde. At the same time, Venus doesn't stop its retrograde at 5 degrees until the 24th. So that means we have just about an entire week of Mercury and Venus, our inner two most planets, both retrograde at the same time. Venus being in Mercury's ruling sign of Gemini. This is how do I feel about what I think. This is how do I think about what I feel. Okay. And then on the 21st, interestingly enough, the North Node here at 29 degrees, and the Sun and the Moon are going to be at 0 degrees. Okay, so again, this is about going forward with thoughts, rethinking things, looking at both sides of the coin, falling in love with every instance, understanding that every negative turns into a positive some way around the bend. Every rejection is redirection. Okay, and it's understanding this beauty and this positivity, and then it's this new moon, new beginning here in Cancer, which is potentially your 4th house, not your 5th house. Again, it depends on where you're at. As it's at 0 degrees, I highly doubt this is going to be your 5th house. Okay, so that's why I gave this disclaimer at the beginning of this video, specifically because of this eclipse. And these eclipses are Uranian energy. Uranus for you, Uranus is here in your 3rd house. This is about communication and information. Okay, so while things are sticking close to the chest here, you have this breakthrough of communication over here. It's just like, look, I got to communicate these ideas, these concepts, these things, these practical ways of living. I can't keep all of this in, and you're a Pisces. So it's like you're connected with this oneness. You're connected to the spiritual realm almost better than any other sign in the zodiac. You get it. You're teetering. You're like 1 foot in the ether and 1 foot on planet Earth, and it's beautiful. I absolutely love you, my Pisces friends. So this eclipse is going to be really powerful. This total solar eclipse is going to be only a degree off, which is going to be very familiar with what we had seen here on August 21st of 2017. 21st or 23rd, I forget. Either way. August of 2017, the total lunar eclipse, or total solar eclipse. So very similar. Now, if this is happening in your 4th house, again, this is about family. Okay? Even if the moon and sun are in Cancer, and this is in Gemini, what's the houses? So this is again, most likely your home and family front, okay? Highlighting this Uranian breakthrough energy of something going on here at home, all right? Whatever that is, let me know. Drop me a line in the comments. Now, on the 23rd, Neptune here, which is your ruling planet in your 1st house, is going to begin its retrograde cycle. And excitingly enough, the beautiful thing about the Neptune retrograde, particularly this year, is the connections it's going to be making with Saturn, Jupiter, and Pluto. All about the non-physical and the physical coming into divine oneness. We are manifesting that which we want, love, and desire into the physical form. Okay, this is happening behind the scenes for you. This is happening as well as in your, community, technology, visionary thinking, forward thinking kind of place. Okay. So that's on the 23rd, and we get to look forward to the next 6 months, really to the end of the year. We have these beautiful connections with all these Capricorn earth signs and Neptunian water. All right, really, really, really beautiful connections as well. Again, Venus retrograde ends here at 5 degrees on the 24th, and then she'll start moving forward again, retracing those steps in Gemini. And on the 30th, the 22nd to the 30th. Okay, we got this happening here. Jupiter conjunct Pluto. This is something we're seeing right now. Abuse of authority, abuse of power. Okay, abundance, transformation, death. Okay, abundant Pluto, more. Death, resurrection, the phoenix rising from the ashes. And in Capricorn is what? Capricorn is about government. Capricorn is about the authority. Okay, so we see this happening right now with George Floyd, the riots throughout, peaceful protests as well as riots going on throughout the United States. Okay, now how does this affect you personally? Well, what's happening here in your community? What's happening here within your social circle where there is a misuse or abuse of power? Okay. And what are you taking actions to do about that? All right. Mars now, on the 27th, is going to enter Aries. And it will be there until January of 2021. Okay, that's 6 months, over 6 months, that Mars is going to be in Aries, which is your 2nd house. The super exciting thing is you're going to be focused on money, focused on your finances, focused on material possessions, wealth, security. Okay, you're focusing on making sure that you're going to survive another pandemic like this if this happens again next year. So literally from July through January 2021, this is all about you and your finances and your money and your material possessions and goods. Okay, that's a positive thing. The rub side of this is Mars home. It's like double action. You know, it's like have you seen the things just pop in my head sometimes. I'm like, okay, here's the analogy we're going with. You're seeing like with the Christmas Story when they over lube up the bottom of the sled, and as soon as it sits down, it's and it just takes off. You know, it's just like it's too much. Okay, there can be a little bit of too much when it comes to Mars and Aries and the retrograde. We'll talk about it more, but I'm just giving you a heads up right now because it's going to be there for 6 months. So this is like a little bit too much of something. Or we're so focused on that one thing, we're so focused on money that we're losing sight of our family. We're so focused on money that we're losing sight of our friends and our community happening here in the 11th house. We're so focused on money or achieving success or material wealth or whatever it is that we're losing sight of other things. You know, it's like, but I have to make sure that I don't go down in this recession. I want to make sure that I'm good, that my family is good, that my kids are good, you know, and it's just like, these are all proper, beautiful things, and you have to make whatever decisions are best for you. And this is just something coming up that's going to be arising. That's like, whatever it is, there's going to be difficulty because it's gas and gas and gas and gas and gas. You know, it's just like, it's a lot in one area. Otherwise, we have a really beautiful month. You know, the connection with Mars and Neptune happening in your first house is really beautiful. The connection happening in your fourth house about home and family is really beautiful. This fifth house energy saying don't be afraid to express yourself and communicate, you know, because again, you teeter between the spirit realm and the earthy realm, and there are practical people in life that need that spiritual communication and guidance, and that's from you. Right? So it's important that you're tapping into that and allowing that to flow and not cutting it off and keeping your communication so in that it doesn't get expressed and flow for your own good. You know what I mean? We only have 2 chakras here that release energy, our sexual chakra, our sacral chakra, and our throat chakra. So when we have Mercury in Cancer, things become muted. You know, we start to, this energy has no place to flow. So it's like we want to make sure that energy is flowing, opening up, and it's very important, again, for you. You have a big responsibility during this retrograde to kind of step up and to allow those emotions to express themselves in a healthy way, you know, because you're going to be doing a lot of like spiritual work for other people during this time that might be going through a difficult time during the retrograde, right? So big shoes for you, my Pisces friends. Thank you as always for hanging out with me. I'm going to be putting out obviously videos every day, diving deeper in all these aspects, as well as the eclipses, the Mars and Aries full video, the Venus conjunct Sun video. So that'll be coming out in the next couple of days. So stay tuned. Thanks for hanging out with me. As always, appreciate you so much. We'll see you tomorrow.